Okay, well, I'm going to start with a follow-up on the news that we presented last week about Blommer Chocolate Company in downtown Chicago closing up. And you asked a question, because that's what we do here, about when is it going to close?
Ooh,
Any particulars? Right. Yeah, okay. Well, I did a little bit of digging, and I found out it's closing in May.
Oh, there's
soon.
Time. It is soon.
Was that a half glass full observation by us? I'm the glass half full. Wait,
I'm like, we could still get some candy.
Yeah. Girl, I'm already making my list for you.
Okay.
For when you go downtown.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and other sad part about this is 250 people are going to lose their jobs.
Oh, no. That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah. I used to be best friends with the ladies who used to work in there. I mean, because they knew me. Oh, gosh. They were so sweet. They retired by now, I'm sure. But anyway, okay, so that's our follow-up.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Blommer yet again. Okay. Anyway, we have other things to talk about today. Like cicadas.
Yep,
because they're
cicadas.
A-comin'. Oh my God. Have you? I can't wait. There are differing opinions on these. No, okay, I can tell from your expression that you are on the opposite end. I'm excited about it. I love cicadas. I think they're a beautiful part of nature that just blossoms and unfolds, and it's just fleeting, and they're cool, and they do a lot of good things for us. What do you think?
Well, the first thing I think of is I won't be sleeping well because they're so noisy.
Yeah.
And, they're so loud. Now, for those of you out there that don't know about cicadas, they are an insect that comes this particular
brood.
Well,
there are two broods, actually, this time.
At every 17 years. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's approximately 17 states in the Midwest.
But Illinois and Indiana are going to get both broods.
Okay, that's what I did. So there's a 13-year, there's a 17-year, and they're both coming at the same time to Illinois and Indiana. And they are interesting and magical because...
Yes, they are magical.
Their lives... Okay, you go ahead and you talk about the magicalness of them.
Well, okay, first of all, the birds love them. It's wonderful food for birds, and I guess for people who like to eat insects.
Rich in protein and low in fat, similar to crickets. Yeah,
well, not going to be going down my gullet anytime soon or ever, if I can help that. But I know some people do, and you're right, it's a food source. I think of it for birds. But
okay.
Also, they are good for our ecology, good for the environment, in that they tunnel underneath. When they start to emerge, they tunnel underneath, which actually aerates the soil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then after they all die and they decompose, it's wonderful natural fertilizer.
Oh, I had no idea.
See?
Well, that is super great information.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a bug person. I really don't care for a lot of bugs, but the ones that are good for us, and this... The thing is, they stop at night, like late at night, like, don't they?
I don't remember them stopping. I thought they amp it up at night and
for a while.
I don't hear them as much during the day.
Oh, we have locusts here too during the summer. Every summer we always have those. So I hear those during the day.
Get them mixed up.
Well, they do it because at night they're probably like, looking to get busy.
Right. Because they mate. That's their whole job.
But they stop like about, it seems like 11. It's not like they go all night. Okay. Well, we'll observe.
We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, their lifespan is very short.
How short? I don't even know that.
4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that is short.
So they're born, they mate, they die?
Well, isn't that the life cycle of everything?
Yeah, it is. So the emergence starts here in mid-May, and it ends...
Oh, no, I heard April.
April? Okay.
That's what I read.
Okay, I read May.
Well, maybe it depends on the brood.
Yeah, and it also depends on the weather. If it's warm and dry, it starts earlier.
Oh, okay, because it says will emerge from the ground in April.
Okay.
And where's this from? Time magazine.
I think mine's from USA Today.
Well, it may be there because there are two broods.
Okay.
One maybe starts in April, and in May we get the
No,
full
when you
force.
Say brood, that means different type of a cicada?
Different. Okay, 2024 is the first time in more than 200 years that brood Yeah.
I have 200
okay,
years also.
XIX. So that would be brood 19. XI, because it's X is 10, right? And then I is 1. I don't know. I think
I've
that's
got that too.
Yeah,
After 13 years, brood XIX is
Yeah.
set to emerge.
And then brood 13, which arrives every 17 years, will emerge at the same time. Oh,
Are they going to like get mixed up with each other? And
I don't know. Maybe they'll crossbreed.
Right.
That's a good question. I don't know. But the next time this happens won't be for 221 years.
Yep, I have that down too.
And the last time was in 1803. So this is...
Wow, this is historical.
Yeah.
Break out the media. Come on down to the Midwest and
they'll be
Illinois and
here.
Indiana and scientists and everything.
They'll be here.
Okay, so my question is, their life cycle is so short.
Yeah.
Do they come from another place or they just emerge from the ground?
No, they emerge from the ground because then I guess they lay their eggs or something. Oh, wait, so they lay their eggs. Oh, that's a good question. So maybe they lay their eggs, or the eggs, wow, I don't know.
And they're all hatching then? You mean the eggs have been sitting there for 17 years?
Yeah, and I guess
Dinosaurs?
they crawl up. Wow,
I didn't see anything about that, and I started thinking about it.
That is a good question, because if they're emerging from the ground, then are they eggs and they hatch and they come up and then they grow? But then how do they get them back down if they all die in the ground here? Do they go?
They lay eggs,
But
they have to lay eggs between. Wow, that is a fast birth cycle. They get pregnant they're born, and within 6 weeks they're impregnated and they lay eggs and then they die.
wow, this is something we have to dive deeper
definitely.
into, because I'm not understanding how they get back down if they die when they're on the ground. And the eggs get laid somewhere.
A lot of places.
A lot of places. I thought I don't know. We're just floundering here. So we've got to research that. Heavens. They're harmless, by the way, everybody. FYI, completely harmless.
Yep, they won't hurt your garden, pets, or humans.
And if you're thinking about using pesticides, like, I hate them so much, which I understand some people do. I get it. I mean, to some people, they're pretty gross. It doesn't work. Pesticides don't work on cicadas. So don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you're just going to...
Put some icky stuff in the air.
That's right.
One side note, if you do have a shellfish reaction, you can be allergic to them.
Wait, whoa. What?
They are in the shellfish family. So if allergic to shellfish, it can produce a reaction.
Like if you eat them?
Yeah.
Shellfish?
Yeah.
How can they...
And they don't bite.
Shellfish are crustaceans.
I know. And that kind of makes sense because this might be a land version of a crustacean down in the sand, because it's like crustaceans will dig down in the sand.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Hey, we're pretty good.
Well, you came up with that. I
Well,
was the one
no.
baffled.
Yeah.
Wow. Because they do have that hard insect shell.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Well,
I'm learning all kinds of things right now.
so am I. And you can get lots of recipes. You can deep fry them.
Oh,
You
barf.
can candy them.
Oh,
Cicada soup and cupcakes. Oh, God. Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of funny jokes going around as soon as the cicadas surface.
yeah.
Because it'll be one heck of a season.
Oh, it's going to be a season.
Yeah.
And I suggest people, if you have vacations that you need to take, maybe just take them during this period of time if you don't like them.
Right.
You know, for me, I'll be reveling in them. I remember that when my ex-husband and I moved into this house in 1989.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. That year, or maybe it was the next year, there was a huge cicada population. And around this area here in Lake Bluff, we had not had a lot of construction or digging. So because of that, their habitat, their under the ground habitats, hadn't been disturbed.
Right.
So we got a lot of them. And I was on a radio station at the time, on the Loop, with this was Stephen Gary time, and they were giving away, they were so cool, cicada key rings. And if you press the bottom, their eyes lit up red, and they make it the cicada sound. Well, that sounds like sex, but yeah.
That they
Like,
are. Oh, okay.
Isn't it more of a high
I
pitch?
don't know. I think of it as it has a beat to
It
it
has a modulation. Yeah, you're
because
right.
they're mating. Yeah.
Well, I guess you're right. It's just, it's more of a slower tempo. Oh, God. Okay, obviously we've both been paying way too much attention to that.
Right. Yeah. Well, I do remember moving here in 1990, and 91 was cicadas, you said?
Well, I can't remember. We were here in 89, and maybe it was 1990. Maybe it was 91. Maybe that was the year. I don't...
Well, we moved here in 90, and we were here in May.
Then maybe that was it.
I don't remember the year, though, but the first time I heard those, I, lost my mind. Because I'm from California, and we didn't have them there. Right. I thought, oh, God. And then you hear all the various stories about them, so...
Really? Like what? What stories?
Well, how they only come back every so many years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought it was just a weird Midwest thing.
Well, it's an interesting Midwest thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, they don't sting, okay? Right. And they're not poisonous either.
Right. And they don't bite. So
yeah.
They're not harmful. So nobody gets scared. And I hope that everybody learned a little bit about cicadas and
right.
better get our cicada on.
Cicadathon?
Cicadathon.
Cicada mania.
Yeah.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about, well, it is International Women's History Month, right? Or is it national? I don't remember. It's one of those. Either way, women are being highlighted in the month of March. And we're going to talk about our own sort of picks for women who we admire.
Right.
And this, it can be any woman, anywhere. I mean, there are a lot of women I admire, but we're just going to take this time to focus on one of mine and one of yours, okay?
That sounds great.
All right, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. You looked this up and found out the exact description of which I was unsure.
Mm-hmm. So we're in the month of March, and it is Women's National History Month. Now, every year there's a theme or a definition for this March. It's women who advocate equity, diversity, and inclusion, and that's defining the women that we are looking up to, remembering, giving homage to for National History Month.
Okay. All right. Well, do you want to start off with your most admired woman, or do you want me to?
I'll start off.
Okay, good.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm just going to name a few women that have been recognized this month that I didn't choose, but they're just outstanding women.
Sure.
They're just amazing. Eleanor Roosevelt, Amelia Earhart, Rosa Parks, Shirley Chisholm, Maya Angelou, Madeleine Albright, and Billie Jean King.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah,
really.
all of them are
just 5-star. Yeah.
And I'd have to do a shout out to Billie Jean King because I used to play tennis when I was younger competitively. And she was somebody that I thought was just fabulous. And also, she brings in inclusion and diversity when she played against...
Oh, what's his name?
Oh,
that
gosh.
big...
Connor? Something Connor?
No, you're thinking, not Jimmy Connor. She played against that guy. Because he was saying
And she beat him.
But yeah, she did.
I'd never forget that match.
Oh, it was like the War of the Sexes. It was a big deal.
Right. It was huge for that time and the media and the hype. And
the hype was huge.
A man tennis player versus a woman tennis player.
Bobby
Riggs.
That's it, Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He was a goofball. But he just teased her. And anyways, so shout out to Billie Jean King. Okay. The woman that I picked for Women's National History Month is my favorite woman in the whole world, which kind of dovetails off of last week, Princess Diana.
Oh, okay.
I know. I've got some stories about her. So anyways, she did so much, I think, for the face of the royals. She was so eloquent, so beautiful, and so giving, and passionate about so many charitable causes. I think she blossomed, actually, after she got divorced. I think she really came into her own, and she carried on some charities that were not necessarily popular charities at the time, such as AIDS, Landmines, Centerpoint, which is working to improve the lives of socially excluded, homeless, and young people.
Oh, I never even heard about that one with her.
She really reached out to the underbelly of charities. It wasn't the typical charities that you would hear about. And I'm sure there's a few others. I mean, there are several others, like the English Ballet, leprosy. Remember?
Yeah.
She was on a mission to...
I do remember that.
No, who does that? I don't even hear about that charity.
Audrey Hepburn is the only one that I ever knew who worked for that. Yeah.
And so she kept it alive. The Royal Margden Hospital, that's probably a standard one that they're supposed to do. The Great Ormond Hospital for Children. And she was always mingling with children with AIDS, and she wasn't afraid to roll up her sleeves and get really involved. I remember when she was walking through the landmines, and I thought, my God, that is scary.
Yeah, that almost seemed crazy,
Like
didn't
a little too dangerous for her. And also, well, I have some fun memories of her. So she got married in 1989. No.
89?
No, sorry.
No way.
No, sorry. No,
It was in the 80s.
No, she got married in 1981.
Right.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know why I said 89.
Because I had said 89
I'm
earlier.
like, whoa, okay.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, well.
You had it on the brain.
Yeah, she was young. I mean, she was only 36 when she passed away. For some reason, I thought she was a little bit older. I visited the tunnel, but I also visited in Harrods in London, where there's the shrine of her and Dodie.
Oh, there is?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's very unusual place. It's kind of underneath the escalators where it's kind of dark, but there's candles. There's a shrine of Dodie and her.
Huh.
And just there, in stone, there's written a little memorial.
I wonder why I didn't notice that when I was there after.
After?
Yeah.
You kind of have to find it.
Oh, okay.
It's like the escalators are going both ways, and I think it's down at the bottom, and there's this little area that's
Like
kind
a little alcove?
Yes, a little alcove, and it, like I said, it's a little bit hidden. But I'll tell you about the night that she passed away. So coincidentally, we always had a lot of nannies from England, or au pairs, and so that particular summer, we had 5 or 6 of them staying at our house. They were either visiting because they had gone and they've come back, and our house was a hub, and a lot of the girls came and went, and we'd always say anybody can stay here anytime. Probably 5 of them at the house. I don't know why, but sometimes they'd come back and travel through the States with another friend. But we had a nice group. We attended a wedding that night, so I was feeling no pain. I came home and just crashed out. I woke up the next morning and I said, oh my God, I dreamed Princess Diana died. And the girls, I mean, I must have heard them screaming and yelling because they were all calling home, talking to their families about her passing. And it was just, oh.
Oh, but you had a dream. Then you came down and said that. And
I had a dream, but I think I might have been subconsciously hearing everybody screaming in the house.
In a light sleep or something.
I could believe it. I mean, nobody could have believed how that all happened. But anyways, I'll never forget all the English girls in the house and calling home and trying to find out what's going on.
That certainly would make more of an impression for you with having people who actually lived there.
Right.
Yeah.
And just little flashbacks. Remember all flowers at Buckingham Palace? I mean, it was flooded. I mean, I think the firm, the royals, were probably a little bit taken aback, like, wow. I mean, they knew she was very popular, but I think she came and rose above them.
Well, yeah, and that created some problems, and that flashes back in my mind to how badly that PR was bungled when the Queen waits 5 days to even acknowledge it, and so they've had a PR problem for a long time. They didn't just start there with Meghan Markle, and certainly not with Kate.
Right.
I mean, they've not known how to handle much of anything.
Exactly.
So, yeah, all those flowers. Yeah, I think that drove it home. Hey, I guess she really did make an impression.
Right. Maybe we should say something.
Yeah.
Well, she did it so respectfully. Like, she did nothing wrong. It's just her popularity grew because she was such a genuine, sweet, caring, loving, giving person. And good for her for finally saying, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I think they both wanted out, but she really wanted out, I'm sure.
And I just have such great flashbacks of her. She was beautiful from the inside out. She did so many great things, and we lost her so young.
I always had a lot of sympathy for her because she was so naive about everything going in.
She was 21 when she got married?
Was she even that old? I guess 21. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that was it. Like on the cusp. Like she probably just turned 21.
Right.
Can you imagine getting married at 21?
Oh my God.
Into that?
And, yeah. I mean, thrown at you. And her funeral with Elton John.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
amazing.
But you admired her because of her good acts.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I mean, definitely. She could have just left, and she continued to do great things, and she didn't do it to be in the spotlight by any means. She sincerely was passionate about the causes that she cared for.
Yeah, I think she conveyed that.
Yeah, what an inspiring woman. So she inspires me, and R.I.P. Princess Diana.
Okay, well, mine is not as well known as yours. In fact,
Well, I'm excited to hear about yours.
many
I'll learn a lot.
many people may not have heard of her at all. Her name was Elizabeth Cochran, but people would know her. Has you ever heard the name Nellie Bly? Does that sound at all familiar? No?
No.
Okay, well, that's how people may know her. When she was 18 years old, she read an article, What Girls Are Good For, and it enraged her. It lit a fire under her butt. And basically what the article was about was what girls are good for is having babies and keeping house. This did not sit well with young Elizabeth Cochran.
And what year is this?
This was 18. Oh boy, let's see. Oh yeah, I mean, no, this is a long.
She's
this is
ahead of her time. Yay
oh yeah,
for
this
her.
I think it was in the 1860s, I believe. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Or maybe that's you know what?
That's
I didn't
okay.
write that
It's
down.
a long. I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
like 40s or.
Oh no.
Whoa.
No. And this, she wrote an anonymous rebuttal, and then she got hired by a newspaper, but she had to use the pseudonym that they came up with, which was Nellie Bly. So she
Okay.
wrote a lot under the name Nellie Bly.
Okay.
Which is how I didn't know her real name was Elizabeth Cochran until I did this research, because I had heard about Nellie Bly. She wrote exposés at this newspaper on working conditions for female factory workers, and she also became an undercover reporter. Now, all these things were,
Way ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
way ahead. When she was doing one of her undercover pieces, she faked her identity to do this story. She faked insanity. She was at a woman's boarding house, so she lived there. And because she did so well at faking insanity, she ended up being committed.
Uh-oh.
Well, that only opened the door to her to do yet another undercover investigation on how the mentally ill were being treated, which can you imagine? I mean, we've seen, a lot of us, One Flew Under the Cuckoo's Nest, and that was supposedly, modern. That was,
Right.
1970 or
70s,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, and that was pretty
That
horrible.
was pretty crude.
Yeah, so can you imagine back then?
Yeah.
Well, that established her, and by this time, I guess it was a little more open, women doing these things. But she was the groundbreaker.
Wow.
She also did a solo trip around the world in 180 days. Or in 80 days, excuse me. Remember that movie?
Yes.
Jules Verne, Around the World in
Yes.
80 Days. Yeah. Okay, well, she did it.
Wow.
But she did it in 72 days.
By boat.
Well, I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it had to be a boat, right?
1900s. Yeah.
Well, anyway, she circumnavigated the globe in
Wow.
72 days.
What a gal.
Yeah. Finally, at 31, she married. Okay.
Oh.
She was 31 when she got married. She was basically a
Old.
spinster, whatever.
Old maid.
She was still in journalism, but she stopped that for a while. I guess, I don't know if she had kids. I didn't really look at that part. But then she also then became an inventor, and she patented 2 inventions. The company that she established did not do that well, so she stopped doing that. But she was married to a wealthy guy,
Okay.
so I guess she could do that. And she came from wealth as well.
Oh.
But she was one of the first women reporters in a war zone in World War I. So that's why she went back into journalism.
Wow.
Yeah. So for a woman to be doing that in, what was that, when did the World War I start? I don't know, 1909, 1910, I don't know, 1911. She was out there reporting.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And they didn't want women anywhere near anything
No.
like that. But she said, no, I'm a journalist. I'm going to do it. And that's what she did. But I can only imagine, had she not died of pneumonia at the age of 57.
Oh.
Yeah, young.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
maybe not for back
average for
then.
then, yeah.
What else she would have accomplished. because
Wow.
she was a goer and a doer. And she just said, I'm marking my path and I'm going to do it. Don't get out of my way.
Was there organizations that she started with women
I don't know
for
about that.
rights that she felt they okay?
No,
At least she stirred the pot.
Yeah. Oh, she stirred the pot because
Yeah.
with her undercover investigations.
Yeah.
And, she had to do them under a pseudonym, the Nellie Bly name, but her real name was Elizabeth Cochran.
That would be a good movie.
Oh,
He's so good.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
How come they haven't done one on her?
I don't know. I mean, they do a lot of men ones.
Well, let me just touch on my second one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, because
Yeah.
there was a movie about
The second one?
So, yeah,
Okay.
kind of. Edith Wharton. Have you ever heard that name
No.
before? Okay. It was Gilded Age. She was in that Gilded Age is what also same time frame. I don't know why I dipped back so far for these, but these were just women who just really caught my eye. I mean, there are a lot of modern day women. And also in the 19th
Have you always known about these two women?
Oh, Edith Wharton for sure.
Okay.
The Nellie Bly one, I saw a snippet of some, a name, and I went, Nellie Bly? And then I started researching that, and I went, oh, that's who was really Nellie Bly. Because I
Okay.
knew Nellie Bly, it's a pseudonym, but I didn't know what. And
Yeah.
anyway, so I already knew that Nellie Bly had done all this stuff, but it wasn't really Nellie Bly. It was Elizabeth Cochran. So anyway, Edith Wharton, she was a novelist, born wealthy. She was a rule breaker as well. And I guess that's why I like
Yeah,
both of these women,
exactly.
because she was fluent in 3 languages. At the age of 18, she published a novel under a pseudonym, of course, because it was still that same time where you couldn't. It was not acceptable for a woman or any women who were in the upper class to have a job, much less write with their own name. Because, you're a writer, you're a woman,
Yeah.
So she published in the end 48 books and 85 short stories. And one you might know, it was a Pulitzer Prize winner, The Age of Innocence. Did you ever hear that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, well, Daniel Day-Lewis was in the movie.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and she was the first woman to get a Pulitzer Prize for her
Well,
writing.
hallelujah. I wonder if they knew each other
Oh, that's a good question.
because they were from the same era-ish and they were both writers.
And she was also a war correspondent in World War I as well. So
Oh, my
how
God.
could they not?
yeah.
Maybe they worked side by
Two of a
side.
kind.
That would be a great movie.
So good.
Both those
Okay,
women.
Hollywood. Let's We'll be we'll be consultants.
Hello, Greta Gerwig. Hello. Have I got an idea for you? Come on, doll. Listen up.
Oh God, I love that. No, those historical movies. When I first watch them, I go, and then I just love them.
Well, when you start to really learn what's behind them, it really makes it fascinating. Anyway, those are my women.
Well, I've got the pop culture, and you've got the real deal over there.
No,
We kind of had diverse
don't-
women,
There,
modern day
Yeah.
princess.
but she broke ground too. She did things that royals
Right.
had not done.
She did.
That certainly no, women royals had done before. So I don't know that she's necessarily pop culture. I think she was part of pop culture because she was part of the Brits. Don't poo-poo that.
Okay, I'm not going to poo-poo it, but I'm really impressed with your 2 picks.
Well, I like women who just go against the grain, and just say, well, no, this is what I want to do. And
Right.
there's nothing wrong with it. And why can't I?
Right, exactly.
Because as a little kid, I was always going, well, why? Why not? Why? How come I can't? What do you, I remember okay, just on a personal note, I was really annoyed that I couldn't wear pants under my dress, because I wanted to go on the monkey bars.
Right.
And I was so annoyed. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go on the monkey bars and go upside down and have my underpants,
hanging out.
I mean, I was young, but I knew enough to know that I didn't want the boys looking at my underpants. Okay. So, and so I was like, well, how come I can't have some pants at school? I can just have my corduroy,
Yeah.
bring my corduroys to school. No, they're not allowed on girls at school. And I made such a stink about it to my teacher and the school and everything. And I would say stuff to my parents. Finally, guess what? We got to wear pants underneath our skirts when we went out to recess. We'd have to take them off when we come back. Well, girls had to wear dresses.
Yeah. Well, I know. I remember that. I was still in the had to wear dresses, and I remember when we first started getting to wear pants to school. I think it was like on a Friday. They'd go, okay, you can wear pants on Friday.
Girl pant Fridays?
Yes. And then some parents didn't like it, and then you couldn't wear jeans. You had to wear non-jeans, and we slithered back. We slithered into it. By the time I think I was in 7th grade, we were definitely all in pants, or maybe 6th grade.
Yeah. See, finally.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to close this with, as this occurs to me as we're talking about this, I hate that I'm referencing a cigarette commercial, but you know what? We have come a long way, baby.
Yes. Amen to that.
All right. We'll catch you on the flip-flop next week. And I don't know what we're going to talk about.
We'll come up with something, but please listen to us, rate us, review us on all of your platforms. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and email us your questions at ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com.
Oh, you're so smooth. That was really good.
I've been working on it.
Wow. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Harvey. Ladies Who Question is executive produced and edited by me, Lisë Dominique, and also executive produced by Holly Caulfield. Holly also does most of our research, and Claire Caulfield is in charge of technical assistance and social media. Music, My Lionheart. Sketch music by Florian Manx and Matthew Anderson. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, follow, rate, and review Ladies Who Question on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Send your thoughts to ladieswhoquestion@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and our website, ladieswhoquestion.com.
All content discussed on Ladies Who Question are the opinions of Lisë Dominique and Holly Caulfield and should not be construed as advice of any kind. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as advice of any personal or medical issue for yourself or others. This disclaimer also applies to guests or contributors to the podcast.